Hi there! Welcome to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma and today we're meeting in the studio. I am going to do a fun little plant craft that is super easy but can be a little bit tedious. It is also a really easy thing to do with kids. I don't have any kids with me right now, but I've done it with nieces and nephews. I plan to do it with my grandkids when they're a little bit older, and it's really fun to do. So let me show you what we're going to do today, and let's get into the project. So I have a bowl here. It's got some things that we'll use later. We've got some fairy lights. We've got cloves, and I've got a dry napkin and a wet napkin. And then I have a toothpick. I also have oranges and pomegranates. Now my pomegranate, I'm not going to do anything except to use it as decor. So those will just stay there. But my oranges, I'm going to put clove pieces in, and those are called Pomander Balls. And they are a traditional Christmas, winter time decoration. But mostly they just smell so good. So what we're going to do is pierce the skin of the orange, which automatically releases all of its volatile oils and that beautiful orange smell. And then we're going to place clove pieces. So I just went to my food co-op and got bulk cloves. So it looks like this. And there's a couple ways you could do it. I'll show you how. But we're just going to take these and pierce them right into the orange skin. So one way that these can be done is you can use a toothpick and create a pattern, and then put the cloves in. Sometimes it's a little bit easier, especially if the skin's a little thick. You can also take a Sharpie and draw your design and then pierce it and then put in the cloves, which is the way I find it to be the best when I'm doing it with kids, especially if I want to be like kind of particular about the pattern or design that I have going on. Is I'll put little dots and create a design, and then they can go in and either pierce the holes or put the cloves in. If they're a little bit older, you can, give them a toothpick. But honestly, the cloves are actually pretty sharp on the ends, and so they will just pop right into the skin without any problem. So I don't always find piercing is necessary, but it just kind of depends on the year and the orange, right? Because sometimes you get those oranges that are really, really thick. So I'm just going to get into it. I am not creating a pattern per se. I'm not going to be really particular about it. I want it to be simple and effective. As the orange dries and the heat of the home releases more and more of these volatiles that'll pull the orange scent out, and the clove will get a little bit wet with the orange juice, and the heat will warm everything up, and it creates this beautiful, delicious, wintry scent. So I'm just gonna do these. The wet and dry napkins are just because sometimes it can get a little sticky, and it's nice to have something right here that you can wipe your hands on. It already smells so good. And when you're done using them for the season, you can put them outside and the birds will eat them. Especially if you like slice it open and release all those volatile oils again, they'll smell it and come right away.
Pomander balls were made in the medieval times for covering up the stench of infection and unsanitary conditions in the home and in businesses.
Okay, that is all I'm going to do for this one. It's got 4 little stripes of clove. And, you know, you could do other things. You can put a ribbon around in between and hang them if you have a good strong tree that you can hang it off of. In my case, this season, I'm going to be putting it just in a bowl with these pomegranates. So they're just going to sit there and be a decoration. I like to create different patterns for different oranges. So we'll just keep playing with ideas here.
In the early 13th century, Pomander balls, or something similar to that, was made for a recovery charm and many wise women traditions, or so we have recorded in literature. Somehow, between then and the medieval times and now, we have adopted them to be Christmas decorations.
If they start getting juicy, that's what this bowl is for. Just to not make a giant mess on my table. You might find that using a toothpick is helpful because they can tend to be a little hard on your hands. So if you have sensitive fingers, you won't have to push down on the prickly part. All right, so there we go. We've got a bunch of little cloves on here.
In many cultures, oranges symbolize the sun or the golden apple, representing wealth, abundance, and fertility. And cloves are said to expand any kind of energy that they are connected to. So I suppose if we're putting cloves in oranges, we're expanding our abundance. And the pomegranates that will be part of this decoration or centerpiece are often connected to fertility and abundance because they have so very many seeds in them. In other words, this is becoming my Yuletide abundance bowl.
All right, so this one has sort of a crisscross pattern here, and then a little dot in the middle, a crisscross and a dot. I'll just do one more. and this one just has little dots here and there. A little sticky orange on there. It's not too bad. It can get pretty sticky with little ones. But that's part of the joy of doing crafts with kids, I think. It's just all part of the experience. One of my nieces just gets so excited. Well, not so much now, she's older, but when she was little, she would just get so excited when she got to make a big mess or get really sticky, because at Auntie's house, we created these scenarios when that was allowed, whereas at Daddy's house, you need to stay nice and clean and keep your things nice. I just made space for the sticky. Alright, so I've got this crystal bowl and I've got these fairy lights. So it's got a battery pack in here, and the button somewhere. Okay. Oh, there we go. And so they light up. So you just stash this battery pack either outside. I like to put it on the outside because I don't want it lit up 24/7. So I leave it on the outside so I can turn it off. And then I'll just put something decorative, like either I'll put the battery pack towards the back, or I'll put something decorative on top of it so it's not as noticeable. And then it's taped in here. Alright. The fairy lights, I'm just going to sort of puddle down there a little bit, and then place some fruit. Puddle a little bit more. Puddle a little bit more. It's good and taped in here. Alright. See this one. Sometimes if I could stick it in here. Let's see. Oh, see, I got it all in there. You can see it kind of tucked in right here. The button's on the top so I could turn it off if I need to. And we'll just display it so that you're just looking at the front part. And that's it. So the little fairy lights will warm up the oranges just a tiny, tiny bit and keep that beautiful aroma continuing to go all season long. And then at the end of the season, I'll slice everybody open and throw them out for the birds to enjoy. So that's it. That's what today's video is all about. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you're celebrating your life, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.